It is said that the fear of public speaking outranks the fear of death. That means at a funeral, the majority of the people would rather be the person in the coffin than the person standing to give the eulogy. I don't know about that, but when I was in elementary school, I was always getting in trouble for talking too much. I was a real chatty Cathy in the back of the room with my friends. But heaven forbid the teacher should call me out and ask me to stand. Some people can't rub their stomach and pat their head at the same time. But I found that I lacked the ability to stand and speak at the same time. I suffered from a case of cat-got-your-tongue-itis. Fast forward a few years, many years, I was an adult and a coworker and friend of mine passed away. She was a wonderful person who would give anything to help someone. I wanted to go to her funeral and share something about her. But when the time came to speak, I couldn't get out of my seat. I sat there crying, not just for the loss of my friend, but for the loss of the opportunity to share with others what a wonderful person she was. It tore me up inside, and I decided I would never let that happen again. I had visited a Toastmasters club a few times. I always sat in the same seat in the back of the room with my head down, not trying to make eye contact with anyone. When I finally did join, the president asked me to fill a role. I was so nervous, I declined. But luckily, everyone in the club was so friendly and supportive. When the time came for me to do my icebreaker speech, I called my husband from the parking lot and I told him, stay close to your phone. What's going to happen is I'm going to stand up to give my speech, I'm going to pass out, hit my head on the podium, and be rushed to the emergency room. So I want to make sure that you're available. Fortunately, that's not what happened. I made it through my speech, and when I was done, I received a standing ovation. I think that's when I started breathing again. I couldn't believe it. I had done it. I made it through. The members of my club were so great and supportive of me that I was able to give my second speech, my third speech, my fourth speech. And before the year was out, I was actually competing in and winning contests. I never imagined I would be able to do something like that. Unfortunately, 5 years later, the opportunity presented itself again. But this time I was able to speak at the funeral for my brother and at the funeral for my grandmother. I was able to share what a funny person my brother was, how wherever he went, he was always making people laugh. And I was able to talk about my grandmother and the sweet tea that she made just for me, and her many words of wisdom, such as, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, or relationship advice like, whatever you did to get them is what you have to do to keep them. So I still live by my granny's words today. I'm sad that those activities took place, but I am honored that I was able to stand up in front of the church and tell what those people meant to me. Toastmasters is an educational organization that focuses on teaching leadership and personal speaking skills. But it's much more than that. Through Toastmasters, I developed confidence in myself. I'm now able to speak about my business and about my children's book to people I meet all over the place. I've also learned a lot from listening to other people's speeches. It's just so much that you can gain from Toastmasters. Whether you come in for leadership or communication, you'll get that. But you'll also get much more. Many of the people I've met at Toastmasters have become friends and or business associates. So whatever you're looking for, Toastmasters can give you that. Now, after all this time, you're asking, why am I still here? It's like Helen Blanchard, the first female Toastmaster and first female international director, said, if you get out of Toastmasters all there is to get out of Toastmasters, you'll never get out of Toastmasters.